last episode, we went through the lead up to the shooting, as well as Paddock's murky past. Let's get into the shooting itself. 61 dead, 867 wounded, 413 wounded by gunfire. 1,058 rounds fired. Paddock officially brought 24 guns. 14 AR-15s, all from high-end brands, Daniel Defense, LMT, stuff like that, as well as 8 AR-10s, 1 Ruger bolt-action rifle, and then 1 Smith & Wesson revolver with which he shot himself. Now, of those 1,058 rounds, 1,049 were 5.56mm rounds fired from 12 of the 14 AR-15s. 8 were .308 rounds fired from 2 of the 8 AR-10s. The final round was a .38 from the revolver. First of all, let's take a look at the casualty count here. We have 413 injured by gunfire. We have 61 killed by gunfire for a total of 474. Now, he fired 1,057 rounds, accounting for the one round. However, if you look at the incident report, 200 of those 1,057 rounds were allegedly shot through his hotel room door at security guard Jesus Campos, who we'll be touching on a little bit later. So that leaves 857 sent downrange. Right off the bat, what we have is 474 people shot by 857 bullets. Now, working out the math on that, that is a bare minimum accuracy percentage of 55% hits. This would be difficult to achieve in a crowded room, let alone 500 yards away with a goddamn AR, firing full auto, or effective full auto. Actually, in fact, due to the distance, significant compensations needed to be made to the bullet trajectory. The yellow note found on the nightstand in the hotel room contained these values. I might add, it did not include any of the calculations required to get there, just the end values written down. Now, this doesn't automatically mean someone came in and was like, yeah, set the optics to this number. But, Paddock may just have been good at mental math, but it's still weird. Likewise, the body cam footage inside the room is exceptionally weird. So, I'm going to go through a couple of weird points about this, but first of all, in multiple locations throughout the suite, there are stacks of AK magazines clearly visible. There are, however, no AK platform rifles.
There's a whole suitcase full of loaded AK mags.
If the whole reason for the bizarre switching guns instead of reloading thing was to avoid reloading, why would he just have a shit ton of magazines for a totally different kind of gun that don't even take the same type of ammo? Next, you can clearly hear one of the officers call out to another one over the radio that, hey, yeah, no, the window's not broken. We don't have we don't have a broken window.
Faces the left floor.
You're facing the left floor. We do not have a broken window.
Okay, copy. It looks like you might have another room that has a broken window that also faces the left floor off that north end. There's a little bit of movement unknown if it's going to be the curtains or not. I'm going to be working to get a better eye on it.
It's right here. We are facing north. We are facing north.
Just confirming that is you guys that's in the broken window that faces the left floor.
You're facing the left floor. We do not have a broken window.
Which is extremely strange considering that, as I mentioned before, it was a 200-pound hurricane window that did not open. So those first two are fairly odd, but the next two are legitimately extremely fucking strange. So in second place, we have this segment right here where they go into the bedroom and look at this censored spot on the bed. Which turns out to be a folder. Now, there's actually a frame or two of this where you can kind of see what's in there, and shout out to Sickest Bitter for pointing this out, but it looks like a passport of some kind as well as a note of some sort taped to the inside of it. Inside the folder, though, as soon as they start flipping through it, it's completely censored on video. So whatever the fuck was in there, they really did not want people to see. As well, when they began to flip through it, the audio cuts out completely.
It looks like that name I gave you shares an address with the suspect. We can give you that address if we need to send units there.
Now, what's odd with this is that while the green folder is pictured and listed in the LVMPD incident report, the manila one, the one that has the, passport and note and whatever God knows else in it, that one isn't listed, and it's also not shown in any of the pictures, which, in my opinion, kind of calls into question the validity of any of the photos of the crime scene if, they're removing items from it before they take pictures of it. Also, there's a lot of questions floating around with the FBI FOIA documents about, why are there so many sets of fingerprints in the room? The answer to that is this little bit right here. Just picking up the evidence without gloves on. But I digress. Finally, this is the big one. So, Paddock supposedly fired 1,058 rounds, right? Or, 1,057, accounting for the revolver shot. It's more than 1,050. So, look at this body cam footage, right? What do you see considerably fewer than 1,050 of? Shell casings. According to the incident report, the suite had 1,058 shell casings in it. This was just sort of taken for granted until June of this year when the body cam footage of Levi Hancock came out and showed something closer to maybe 50 shell casings. So what was the deal with that? So whatever happened, it wasn't in 32, 135, or 134, the two adjoining suites Paddock had. There's no fucking shell casings. There's no smoke after breaking into the room. There's no smoke detector going off until the door gets breached. And crucially, there is no giant pile of shell casings on the floor, nor an open window or broken window out of which to shoot. Several of the small handful of shell casings that were in the room also were clearly ejected into the pool of blood around Paddock's body. While the ARs shown in the body cam footage do in fact have 100-round mags, you can see them, these big long extended banana things. The issue with that is, in addition to all the aforementioned environmental issues with the room just not appearing the way that a room you just fired over 1,000 rounds of 5.56 inside would look, the other big thing is that, most of the rifles that were used did not even have sights. They had no optic, they had no iron sight. And the ones that did have sights were just using a standard EOTech. Remember, this is being fired into a crowd 500 yards away with a accuracy hit rate of above 50%, with no sights. So, from the sounds of it, when the hotel was searched, what we have is a missing M249, a missing M240 Bravo, and what sure does appear to be missing other shooters. So I think it's safe to say that we can agree that whatever happened with this event was something was up. Now, I wish I could say that this is where the weirdness ends.